This conference will now be recorded.
Awesome. Okay, so what was being done before as far as new leads, when folks would enter our website and then they'd request for a new lead, for instance, at your portal,
Right.
they'd get this form, right? And then it would transfer over to a WordPress email, and the prospect wouldn't necessarily get instant notification that we've received it on our end. So at times you'd see multiple entries from the same prospect, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. All right, so with that, one of the solutions that we have is to automatically migrate this lead information into Club Ready without taking that intermediary step into the WordPress email.
Okay.
So for Irwindale, we have this live right now. So if I was a prospect that was inquiring about getting a free guest pass for Irwindale, I'd see this form instead. So if I was a prospect, I'd go ahead and fill out all the details: first name, last name, gender, so as not to discriminate. We have other options here: email, phone number, zip code, and then the referral source, right? So for instance, if this prospect found out initially about Google, they could type that in, and then they can add an additional message here, right?
Okay.
So as soon as they send it, the first cool feature is that they get instant alert that we've received the request. So they'll get this page: thank you, we have received your request. We look forward to talking with you soon. So hopefully that mitigates multiple entries from the same prospect. So you've heard there that I just received those alerts. So this first one is the alert that our salespeople are going to get on our end, right?
Okay.
So it's notifying us that there was a new prospect added. So with their information that they just entered in: name, email, phone number, and the gender, right? So if I go ahead and just check that into Club Ready, when I reviewed it earlier, I wasn't in there. I made sure to delete myself out of the page. What happens after they submit it, within a matter of seconds, is if I look at leads added within a day, I'll pop up. So it's automatically entered in there without any need for a manual entry from our salespeople.
Gotcha.
So all their email address, their phone number will already be there, as well as the time that was added. And it's this new API function that we've turned on for this. And the only necessary action steps from us would be to make the phone call and send the text message, because the email should be automated. For whatever reason, it didn't go through this one time, but it should be automated. So all we need to do is send a text message and make the phone call.
Okay.
Make sense so far?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Perfect. The text message, we were attempting to automate it. Unfortunately, we can't legally do that because the prospect has to actively opt in and subscribe to our email or text blast in order to receive automated emails from us. But manual emails we can send at any time. So that manual email is simple, right? It's just kind of templated. I'm sure your team has it templated. Thank you for your inquiry. We're looking forward. When would you like to schedule your free trial?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And then we just make the phone call as quickly as possible. So this is all in a pursuit to have that speed to contact, right?
Yep.
So make that phone call and obviously take the note. Now, for whatever reason, we were supposed to get an email, but that didn't go through. So I can show you some samples of an email that should have been received. Okay, so this is the template of the email that they should have received, right?
Okay.
So they get this email, schedule your free trial visit today. As soon as they enter that lead, within seconds, they should receive this email. Your free
Gotcha.
guest pass inquiry has been received. Hi, Paolo. Thank you for inquiring about Pickup USA Fitness. A member of our staff will be contacting you momentarily. Ready to schedule your free trial visit. Now they have the option, without any of our salespeople actually getting in contact with them, to schedule their visit themselves, right?
Okay.
By opening up this link. So if they go ahead and click on this link, it'll open up a Calendly link where they can choose when they would like to schedule their own visit.
Okay.
So if, today is tight, but they can come tomorrow, they just select Saturday, I'm free, don't want to wake up too early, perhaps 11 a.m., right?
Mhm.
And they go ahead and confirm that time, and they complete this form here. And then the other cool part is they get to select their areas of interest, because those are the things that we want to know from our discovery phase. So that way we could better align our presentation to their specific areas of interest. Yeah. So,
Yes, sir.
let's assume that this individual is interested in these items here. When we schedule the event, we should get an alert on our end notifying us of that submission. So from the prospect's end, they're going to get this notification. So on their email, they can add it to their calendar by clicking yes here. So it'll
Okay.
remind them on their email calendar, their personal email calendar, that they have that scheduled visit for themselves, right? And it tells them your location and their areas of interest, and they can cancel or reschedule as they wish. On
Okay.
our end, we're going to get this alert. So we're going to get the alert of that interested party that wants to come in and visit at this time, right? We're also going to get their buckets of interest. So what I would like you to train your team to do is just copy their areas of interest and then add it to their keynote. So that way, when we go through our prospecting efforts, it pops up immediately, the items that this individual is interested in. So when we reach out to that person, we can kind of guide them towards the officiated games time, because it'll make the most impact in their visit to the gym.
Okay.
Make sense so far?
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Perfect. And then the last item that we'll need to do is book it in our Club Ready calendar. So this individual is interested in Saturday, March 6th at 11. So then we'll just have to put it in our booking, same way that we always do, grid view. Okay, Saturday, go ahead and click on Saturday. I know Sean is in at that time at 11, so I'm gonna schedule that prospect's visit for a consultation for Sean on March 6th, Saturday, 11 a.m. Make the booking as I always do, put in the prospect's name.
Mhm.
Now, we don't need to send out another email because they already got that Calendly invite email, right? What
Right.
we do need to send is a text message. So they'll get that confirmation via text message, and then the day of, a couple hours before, they'll get that automatic text reminder.
Okay.
So we go ahead and make the booking, and it'll do just that.
Okay.
Any questions so far?
Nope.
So that's pretty much it. So yeah, again, it'll automatically migrate all the information in this free guest pass form
Mhm.
into our Club Ready page without any manual entries required from our salespeople. So all that's required for them is to just constantly check those alerts, refresh it as often as possible so they can have that speed to contact and make that dial as soon as possible and send out that initial text, right? Now,
Yep.
if they get in contact with the individual, they still need to send out a text, something along the lines of, hey, it was nice speaking with you over the phone. Can't wait to, show you around the club on Saturday.
Right. Okay.
Now, if once again, after they get this, they're going to get that email. So they have that option to then schedule their own invite, right?
Okay.
Or their own appointment. I'm sorry. Their own appointment. So if they do that, we'll get an alert on our end. So the action items required from our salespeople is to book it in the calendar, as well as to copy and paste those areas of interest into their keynote, so we can advance
Right.
the sale
Okay.
when we do our follow-up efforts.
Okay.
How you liking this process, James?
Oh yeah, I like it. Let me ask you this real quick, Paulo.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if you were finished or close to the end.
Yeah,
What
is
about?
this regarding this particular topic, or should I stop the
Yeah, yeah.
recording? Okay,
No,
perfect.
no, it's regarding this topic. So, what about those instances? Now, I know I can imagine it happens at the other facilities, but I know it happens here where we got people that, they've been in before, and they're trying to basically get in for free again.
Great question.
Yep.
Yeah, so with those individuals, we can reconcile it with Club Ready once it's entered in there and see if there's multiple entries. If there's
Okay.
already been an entry and our notes show that they've indeed visited, we can go ahead and delete that user from the system. So you just simply go to that particular user that was added via API automatically, right? So for instance, if I was to go to myself, right, then I just go to their all details page,
Okay.
and I just reconcile. I put it in
Gotcha.
again and see if there's anybody else that fits that name, right? Or
Okay.
now, if there's multiple entries under that name, then I'm going to keep the oldest entry, but I'm going to delete this newly created one,
Okay.
right? So you just go to all details, general, and delete this user from the system. So now they'll no longer be there. Now, I advise you an additional, so now I'm no longer in there, right? The additional step would be if this was the actual duplicate user, I just put a note in there and say, this individual requested for another free guest pass, right?
Okay.
Via API. So I'd still
Gotcha.
contact him. Hey, I noticed you requested to come back in. Are you ready to start your membership today?
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Oh, definitely. Yep. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions or concerns perhaps with this program?
No, that looks great. The automation really helps out. The other thing that it does, it keeps the employees per se from fat fingering stuff, putting wrong information. We basically are relying that those prospects are doing things accurately. So that's a good point as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it saves them time, right? So all of this is an effort to kind of remove items from their to-do list so they could just focus on prospecting and closing deals.
Okay. Yep. I like it.
Now, as far as additional automations, you're free to create automations as you see fit to do just that, right? So if you go to setup, automation rules, you have all these kind of functions that you can play around with. So all you need to do is just select conditions that you want these automations to act on, right?
Okay.
So if these were all lead types, for instance, and their initial contact was a phone call, and they their payment is declined, then you can set triggers, right? So send an email of a past due notice, right? So all these things can be automated.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if you'd like further kind of assistance with that, I'm happy to help, of course.
Okay.
Any questions with this particular topic before we end this recording, James?
No questions, Paulo.
Awesome. So I'll go ahead and stop the recording.